Hello and welcome to Alumni Pride. My name is Zoe Heatwell. This show is designed to catch up with Susquehanna graduates and find out what they're up to now. Joining me today is Kevin Engel. Kevin is a member of the class of '97. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's start back at the very beginning. What do you remember most from your days here at Susquehanna?
Well, I played soccer in high school throughout my 3 years. For 3 years, I was hurt my freshman year, but we went to district semifinals. Like this year, I think they're in district semifinals. They finished third, and they're going to states. And it was a similar type team where we didn't have any great players, but we played pretty well together as a team, and I think that's the way they play this year as well. I follow still the local sports of Susquehanna still today, and I remember playing soccer with Coach Wilson, who's no longer here anymore, but with my teammates, and I still see a lot of my teammates still today. I remember baseball as well with Coach Abbott, who's now the AD, I think.
Yes.
Was our coach back then in baseball, so I remember playing for him. And basically the extracurricular activities is what I remember the most, as well as certain teachers and classes.
Who were those teachers? Did any of them leave a really big impact on you?
I was good in the math and science classes, so I probably enjoyed those classes the most. I had Mr. Yeckley for geometry and calculus, and I remember him. Mr. Naylor, who I don't think's here anymore.
I don't think so, no.
I had him for trigonometry. And Mr. Lease, who I had for chemistry, was a very comical as well as a very good teacher. So I remember those three teachers who kind of stand out the most for me.
After high school, where did you go to college?
I went to Penn State York for 2 years. I played soccer there. They have the Commonwealth campus sports teams, and we actually won the championship in soccer my freshman year, which was a lot of actually alumni of Susquehanna from previous years who played together, and that was exciting. And then from there I went to University Park up at the main campus at Penn State. So I had a 5-year major. It was architectural engineering. It's a very elite program at Penn State. They're very well known for that. And actually, I've met a lot of Susquehanna alumni that were in the AE, we call it the AE program at Penn State. It was kind of ironic. I mean, you know, alumni from years before me, so it's kind of a small community in itself. Now,
back to soccer really briefly. What draws you so much to soccer? Why that sport?
I don't know. It's a very different type of sport. It's a team sport. You have to be great endurance. You know, it's a lot of running, and it's a team oriented where it's not that one player can determine, you know, the entire outcome of the game. It's very much team oriented, and I was playing it since we were 4 or 5 years old. You know, the same kids that I graduated with in '97, there was 10 or 11 seniors that I often played with growing up, and you know, just kind of what we did in our away from school as well as in school. So it kind of was easy to fall into.
Right. Well, we'll come back to what you do for the community in a little while, but what type of activities were you involved in with college? Was there anything besides soccer, or?
They have a lot of societies, like the SSAE was the Student Society of Architectural Engineering. National Habitat for Humanity was with NAHB, was National Association of Home Builders, was all organizations within Penn State. You know, the student campus at University Park, and I went and actually worked on a house near State College, you know, with the Habitat, and you know, got involved in the community somewhat in State College as well. So it was a
What do you remember most from college?
Well, obviously Penn State and their football program. Going to a Penn State football game is like is one of the unique experiences
I've
that
heard,
you can
yeah.
ever go. You have 100,000 fans, all screaming for the same thing, and it's something that you just are amazed at when you're sitting in the stands. So I would say that's stands out a lot.
What types of jobs and careers were you in? Well, I guess that's the same thing. What type of job were you in after you graduated from college?
After I graduated, well, I interned with a couple different companies in school. While I was in York, Penn State York. I worked in the summer for NCTL, which is National Certified Testing Laboratories. They test windows for hurricanes and all kinds of different wind resistance values, and they accredited those windows. And then I went up to University Park. I interned with another company, Burdett Kohler and Murphy's, a consulting engineering firm down in Baltimore. And Andy Endress was actually a Susquehannock alumni, and he was a Penn State architectural engineering. So I had something on my resume from Susquehannock, and he actually saw that, and that kind of led me to, got me involved in that job, and I still correspond with him and others down there.
So because you graduated from here, he actually recognized?
Yeah, he recognized, because actually I won the Male Athlete of the Year in '97, and I put that on my resume because they had any leadership skills, put that on there. And he recognized that, and he brought me in for an interview, and I ended up being there for internship. So it was I would say Susquehannock had a influential part in that job opportunity.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, I graduated. I took a job offer with JDB Engineering. It's a York, Pennsylvania-based firm. We have an office in Hunt Valley. That I do mechanical design work for buildings. We have a sister company, New Tech Design, is the architectural, structural, and firm. And JDB is basically the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing and fire protection side of New Tech Group. And it's been 5 years now, and I'm still there, and I actually been moved down to the Hunt Valley office to promote some business down there. So, and I'm still living in the area, moving back and forth, it's not a big deal for me because it's an easy commute. A lot of families that live in this area commute down to Maryland, and yet it was still an easy commute when I worked in the York office as well. So it worked out well so far.
Well, what really got you into this field?
Well, my grandfather was a builder. My uncle was a builder. I was very good in math and science. That's what I liked doing, and I still like doing that today. And so it kind of led me into the architecture, engineering. It was one of my strengths, so it was a natural, easy for me to get into that type of field. And you got into it, and it's a very good program up there, and you really started to enjoy it. And so here I am today.
So you recently moved down to the Hunt Valley offices. So what is your current assignment with your job?
Well, I'm still doing a lot of mechanical design. And as well, we're promoting the Hunt Valley office to get more work down in the Baltimore general area, to promote that office down there. We are working on a couple LEED buildings, which is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. A lot of schools are going to the LEED rating system. They call it becoming more green. It's kind of a common term nowadays. So it's an exciting opportunity in today's building industry, as well as where we're working with BIM, which is a building information modeling system, where you build a model of the building rather than just drawings of 2D dimensional. So it's going to be here in the near future. I think it's going to be a real tool for people to use, this BIM modeling. It's kind of a new approach to things.
Do you ever see yourself doing anything else?
Well, I always said if I wasn't an engineer that I'd probably be a math teacher of some sort or something, but I enjoy what I do. So I don't know if I ever see myself doing anything else.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah, I mean, there's always building buildings. You know, people are always, government's always sponsoring buildings. You know, so I think it's a good industry to get into, and we've done well so far. So. And
you do live in the area, correct?
Yes.
So, in what ways are you involved in the community?
I've been refereeing high school soccer for the last 4 years, boys and girls. So I still try to stay active in the soccer community. I have 2 kids now, so I imagine as they get older I'll move into a coaching role and get away from the refereeing, but it still keeps me involved in the community. I know Ben Catawell is the varsity coach. I played soccer with him, so you know, I still see the coaches and still see the players. Brett Maxwell coached here for the girls for a couple of years. He was a Susquehannock alum, and I still see him from a day-to-day basis. So I still try to stay involved in the community with soccer and you know, refereeing.
All right. And you also just had a new addition to your family
yesterday.
How's that going?
Yesterday, my wife gave birth to a baby girl. She's 9 pounds, 8.8 ounces. It's exciting. I mean, something that you just don't forget. It's something that to see a birth take place is an amazing event. And it went really well. She's a healthy baby. We're actually going from here to pick the baby up. It's Adeline Nora is her name. So it's exciting. Big brother is excited too. He
looks it. So since your kids are eventually going to be attending school here, what really is the biggest change you've seen from when you went to school to now?
Well, I just think, you know, even the size of the buildings, there's been so many additions. Shrewsbury Elementary wasn't even here when I was going to school. You know, this recording studio wasn't here when I was going to school. There's probably more students. You know, they made improvements, I think, to the middle school. You know, this high school's a lot different since I've been here. Just the buildings and the, you know, the sheer volume of students going to the school district, I'm sure has grown probably just as well as other school districts around the York County. So.
Well, okay. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And for everyone here at Warrior TV's, very special thanks to Mr. Hare's Period 1 Video Production 2 class. And for everyone here at Warrior TV, I'm Zoe Heatwell, and have a great day.